Typically, we live now because of the digital media age. We have, faster turnaround periods. We have lesser deadlines. But the way I used to approach journalism back in the day was that I would research the hell out of it to the point that I knew the subject so well that I wouldn't have to refer to my notes. And when I sat down to write, there was not one single statistic that I needed to go back and look into the exercise book for my notes. That may not happen with tighter deadlines. So reporting and research are the key things.
Have you ever been tempted by the thought of second guessing the material that you put out as your own, with the name, with your name being attached to it? Have you ever second guessed ideas because of what's going on around you?
Not when I'm writing for publication, but on Twitter, yes, I have started to second guess. I would say my output on Twitter has been reduced by 75 or 80%. I don't see the point anymore. I'm embarrassed to say it because there are much braver people than myself who continue to take on the onslaught that comes with speaking your mind. But I have begun to feel like the onus cannot simply be on me. The onus has to be on the policymakers, on social media, companies, etc., and on society on the whole. It cannot just be my courage that is called to question every single day. No, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, there is, after all, safety in numbers.
Yes,
and you need the numbers.
Yes.
And talking numbers, there are people who want to write well. I don't think the intent is the problem. I think the information / knowledge is the problem about how to.
Yeah.
And since what we're trying to do with the Teamwork Arts podcast is to try and follow the process. What is your process when you're writing? I mean, is it that you gather information? Where does the academic rigor and the creative chaos meet, so to speak, for the way you write?
Well, I have to say that if you're particularly writing nonfiction, and that's what really my realm is, so that's what I'm going to speak to, reporting, reportage, research is key. You cannot, even if you're writing an opinion piece, it has to be based. It may not be visible because you might present your thoughts as your opinion. It may not be visible reportage as it might be when you are doing a maybe field report, etc. But it has to be underpinned by really solid reportage, really solid research. That's when you really have your material. And typically, we live now because of the digital media age. We have faster turnaround periods. We have lesser deadlines. But the way I used to approach journalism back in the day was that I would research the hell out of it to the point that I knew the subject so well that I wouldn't have to refer to my notes. And when I sat down to write, there was not one single statistic that I needed to go back and look into the exercise book for my notes. That may not happen with tighter deadlines. So reporting and research are the key things. And after that, when you sit down to write, what I try and do is throw away the information bit of it and tap into the emotion of what I'm trying to say, what I've just experienced while reporting it, while researching it. And through that emotion comes the turn of phrase, so to speak. And of course, it comes from reading greats like John Didion, who I talked about earlier. So I think that is in short, my mantra. But I'm loath to quote Hemingway, but really the process really is you sit in front of a laptop, he said paper, and you bleed. I mean, it's really just that.
That's what it is.
It's painful.
With you, that that quote takes on a little bit of a literal meaning as well, in a sense. It's very clear that the shoulders seem to slouch from time to time with the weight that you carry. But is the motivation to carry that weight onto other spheres, of course, is that still strong, or is the give up mentality approaching faster than it should?
No, it's very, very strong. It's stronger than ever. The means might change. I might take a breather and ask myself if this is the right platform or that's the right way. But I think the resolve is stronger than ever. And the fact that one is moving on from mediums that were once extremely familiar territory, that were comfort zones, is indicative of a stronger resolve, because you're asking yourself, are you doing enough? Is this the best way to do it? And hard questions like that. So no, the resolve is definitely there.
Also, I think, with the advent of the social media and the 280 characters and the 30-second reels, what we're missing out is the grime of the process for the glamour of the other side, the flip side of the coin. We see the seduction of success, but we don't see the going through the muck in that way. For those who've been seduced by the glamour, would you like to tell them what the grime feels like?
Oh, the grime feels heavy. The grime feels like hard work. The grime feels like mental health challenges. The grime, if you are a woman, feels like self-sabotage. It feels like imposter syndrome. It feels like all of those things, but it is definitely worth it for the 30 seconds you see on my reels or anybody else's reels with the right filter. There's a lot behind that, but it's worth it.
Yeah.